Hello everyone and welcome to Titan Trading, that's what we're calling it now, but this is my first YouTube video. I've begun recording now on the new stock week. It is now January 11th. And I thought that I would just do a little watch list for what I'm looking for this week, as it is a big week heading into the stock market. Just to take a little look at futures at the moment. The Dow's down 190 points, Nasdaq's down 58, and S&P futures are down 23. So it's looking like we're taking a little bit of a step back from our rally that we had all last week. Bitcoin's down. Bitcoin's down to 34,500, and it was previously at around even 5 o'clock on January 10th, it was sitting at 40,000. So it has had a significant drop off since then, but I honestly think that it will recover. But just to talk about two stocks that kind of followed the Bitcoin line is one, Mara. Mara is a stock that I'm looking for a dip, whatever dip I can get. I think this has a lot more potential than the one I'm holding right now, which is Riot. I've been trading this since it was 15, 16. So from right around here, now it's at 29. It's probably gonna, with Bitcoin at 34K, it's probably gonna open up tomorrow morning a little bit. Today, a little bit down. So I don't know how much momentum it really has, but the Mara definitely has a lot more room to grow for stocks. So definitely take a look for and try to get into a good pullback, because I am bullish on Bitcoin in general. I'm not sure when people will start to buy back, but this $34,000 price is definitely a place where people might take a look into getting into. One stock I'm definitely looking at this week is DKNG. DraftKings. It's in this. I see this little trend line right here. I've driven from its high of 64.75, and then another triangle. Right. It's starting to get a little bit smaller, especially over here. We can zoom in. I'm looking for a break over this trend line right here. As soon as I see a trend line, this triangle broken towards the upside, I'm definitely going to buy some calls around in the 50s. High, either close to in the money or right outside. Looking to see it grow over the next few weeks. Another stock I'm looking at for a breakout, Solo. It's done nothing over the last few weeks. Absolutely nothing, trading sideways. If this can begin to grab momentum, I'm looking at the stock just about right around $8. If it can get above $8, we saw a high of 13.6. That is huge upside potential, but again, one thing I look at, volume, very low. You can't tell from there, but volume's just not high. It's just not enough. Definitely something I'm taking a look at. Micron. Take a look at Micron right here. Had phenomenal earnings. Opened up higher on this Friday that we just had. Opened up and ran to 84.16, then came down and sitting at 77.46, right? 77.42, 77.46. The analysts came out with a price target of $96 for Micron, and it's sitting at 77. I'm looking for the stock to really bounce back, and especially this week, just to see. I'm gonna first let it kind of settle and definitely show an uptrend, but keep Micron on your watch list. One more stock I want to look at is the trade desk. The trade desk, as you can see, I have drawn my Fibonacci lines. It hit a high of 974.5, right? Came all the way down, right? All the way down to 737. That is a huge drop off. It's going to bounce back. you can see the momentum already beginning over these last few days when it went from 437. Now it's just under 800. I'm looking to see if it can hold. I'm looking to get in at around 807 and ride it up to this 827 mark. That is a nice easy $20 gain, right? Buy a few shares, might look for a call option. I think we could potentially see it get up to this 855 range. Then above that, we're going to fill this gap if we can, but that, I don't know if that's going to happen next week, but I definitely see this stock definitely rebounding. Another thing I'm keeping an eye on is Taiwan Semiconductor. So I'm just going to delete this right here. I was trading this at around 112 last week, had a good run up. Now it hit a high of 127 and dropped to 118.69. I'm looking for this stock to recover, right? Recover and fill this candle right here, just because I just think that the semiconducting group of stocks is just going to be flying, especially with Nvidia leading the way. Nvidia. Now this is interesting, right? Because you heard about how they are teaming up with the NIO, which we'll get into in a second, with autonomous driving, and any electric vehicle autonomous driving, any news about it will pump up the stock. So we will not see this at 531 tomorrow. I can see this making another push higher by at least $20-30. I think this is big news for Nvidia, and it will definitely drive stocks like AMD up. I think AMD will either this week or next week reach all-time highs of 97.98. I'm very bullish on AMD. I hold it in my portfolio at the moment. But going back to the hot market right now of NIO Day was January 9th. Big news came out with NIO. They released their sedan. They beat their expectations of how many cars they were going to sell in December, which was huge. But their car isn't going to come out till early 2022. That's a long way from now. So we'll see how investors deal with that certain news. I'm curious. I'm hoping for a little bit of a pullback in the morning and then ride it for 2 more days. I think as it's hit now all-time highs, it's going to kind of look to take a step further. I can see it in the maybe 60s, 62. I don't think it can get past 62 in the short term. I think it will see a little bit of a pullback before that happens, but I'm looking to see this. I think it could honestly open up at 62 because of NIO Day, but again, we'll see tomorrow. Now, one more stock that's on my list is Square. Why is Square on my list? I bought this thing at 213. Big drop off, right? No reason. 247 to 210. Square's a fantastic stock. I saw it hit my line right here. I said I'll buy, rode it up. Now you can see it even touched again at 246.78. It didn't get to that all-time high of 247, but what I'm looking for now, as you can see, is this is a cup, and I'm looking for a handle. How big this handle is going to be, I'm not sure yet. Futures are down. Let's see if Square will come down with it. Bitcoin's down. So I'm looking to see a little bit of a handle, kind of like we see right over here. Right here. Right up, cup, this handle, and then we broke out of the handle, 157, all the way up to 170. Alright, $13. And this is an even bigger cup and handle, so I'm curious to see how much it's going to run up there. PayPal has been on my mind as well. It's kind of like a cup. It's not the same though. There's a lot of people bullish on PayPal for the next upcoming year, and not as much on Square, but we'll of course see what happens. Now for options trading, for safe options trading, UUP, buying calls now would be fantastic, right? The bullish index ETF of the dollar. This has been plummeting over the last 180 days. It's hit resistance from the 2007 marks, and I think we could see a 4 or 5% bounce up for the dollar. Maybe not in the stock, but buying the 24 calls that expire in a few months, that's a safe option to grow your money. One stock I'd love to look at right now is Baba. Baba, I bought. Had to buy. Everyone was saying buy. Kramer on CNBC was saying buy. I bought some shares of Baba. I did have an alert at 243.99 above this, but I decided to just get in right there. It was not on the list of stocks that were going to get delisted, which was good. From that were Chinese, but I'm looking for this thing. I mean, it's well off its highs. This thing has to come rallying back. I should have really bought it 212-ish, where it came down, but you know, RSI is not bad. I'm looking for that leg higher just to sell. Just a few things to look at. Lee, right? As people begin to pull out of Neo, just remove my drawings here, whatever. As people begin to pull out of Neo and put their money into other EVs, I rode Lee this week up from, I bought around $29 and sold at literally the high of 36. I'm looking for, look, bounce back, hit this 33.66. I think it's going to jump a little bit more up to that 37. When we get above 37, let it cool off, and then buy. See if it can get up to that 41. That's going to be a big level for it. Xpev, right? These stocks, they all follow Tesla. Xpev, just not enough. My buy point, it's got to be above 48.69, hold that, and then I have a resistance line up here at around 50.5. So it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. I have a lot of stocks on my watch list. Other stocks that include a lot, like, I'm just taking a look at my notes here. I've heard a lot of good things about DocU. Let's just take a look at that. DocU, right? Hit a high of 293, came crashing down. I'm very much looking at this above 254. I will actually set an alert right there. Above 254. That's, I think DocU is going to battle back. Coca-Cola. A lot of people are saying this was a buy. Look at that drop. 54.96 all the way down to 49. Watch this bounce back for Coca-Cola, right? It's one of the best stocks in the world. It's always been. Warren Buffett owns it, right? Got a few downgradings, but overall, it goes higher. Fuel cell. This thing has crazy momentum, right? I follow momentum stocks. That's what I do. Where money pours in, I try to pour into. This is nuts. I want to see a little bit of a dip, and then to ride that extra explosion, right? RSI doesn't look good. MACD's fine, but we see the volume right here. Let me see if I can, oh, sorry. See volume right here, low and red, right? We don't like to see that. So, but I think this energy company is going to be very, very good, especially as Biden steps in. TXG was interesting. I didn't get into it, but I wish I did, because if we go to the 15-minute chart here, I wanted to get in around 154 before it ran up to 162, but I didn't like how the premiums were on the contracts, and I decided to pass. Kathy Woods has been buying a lot of this stock. As you can see, it is off its highs of 166. She saw it at 145. Bought, people followed. So, I can see the stock hitting all-time highs again, and very soon, as you can see, it's growing momentum. Morgan Stanley got a final trade on Friday. Look at that. Look at that. Right? Over the last, it's just been financial stocks, especially Morgan Stanley and other bank stocks have been just flying, except for Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo. WFC. Wells Fargo, it had one good jump. That's it, right? It did have a big jump, of course, but it's not doing as well as other bank stocks. It's not. Watch this pullback, see if it's going to recover a little bit harder than the other stocks. Now, so there's obviously a lot. As futures come down, people are going to buy this, right? This is not a sell-off that's beginning. Bitcoin now at 34,000, just went to under a little bit back. I saw the 33,000 mark, but futures still around the same. Dow's down 200, right? It's not going to be a pretty open, but I think people are definitely going to look to buy in to this open. I can't see us really selling off that hard. Another Cathie Wood stock, if you guys don't know who Cathie Woods is, which I think you guys do, she's the investor that has just been incredible over the last few years, especially because she owns a large amount of Tesla, which has been on fire, as everyone knows. She's also been getting into this open, OPEN. It's coming down a little bit. It saw a high of 33. I actually never got in. I'm looking for this thing to gain some momentum back, just like SKLZ skills. This thing had a ride up and then sold off. I have a new alert at 23.96 because Cathie Woods also bought this, and I like to look at all the stocks that she owns. Now, a stock that I've had some serious trouble with is Lulu, right? You can see these trend lines right here. I'm going to actually extend it to the right and extend it to the right. I thought it was going to bounce a lot faster here and kind of zoom up to this 400. It's obviously having some trouble at that 370 range. I'm looking to see if it can get above this 370 range and get up to that 400. Now, I know I'm talking about a lot of stocks here because there's just a lot there's a lot to talk about, but if I could give you basically a top 5 for me tomorrow, it is Riot, Microsoft, which I have not talked about. Microsoft, I think this thing is going to see 225 soon. Apple, looks like it's reversing too. It's got to get above. I have a buy point of 132.8. Right, those are two stocks, but again, well, I'm sorry guys, one more stock, GRWG. This is my long-term growth stock. As you can see, this went from 7, this is just over the last 180 days, even, 9, just close to 120, 15 to 48. This is my long-term portfolio hold. This thing is definitely going higher, right? You can see the trend line. Forward. Had a big jump. Saw 48.11. Now at 45, I'm looking to even add more if I can at this point. If I could give you a top 5 for stocks going into this week, which is a very important week because of the CVS healthcare, excuse me, not CVS, the healthcare conference. That's going to have a lot of news with financial stuff, healthcare stuff. So there's going to be a lot of news flying around that could affect the market. But so definitely be careful with your positions, and if there is a pullback, make sure that you have cash and you're getting into these good positions, right? The stocks that I've talked about. Yep, top 5, Riot, Mara, again. Mara, wait for a pullback. Neo, for the ride up to 62. And I'm TSM, right? Taiwan Semiconductors. And maybe in fuel cell, right? Right, there's not a lot of definite buys I have for tomorrow, which usually on Mondays I do. Neo's the first stock I'll look at tomorrow at market open is Neo, right, for quick trade, right? I have my long-term trading and I have my quick day trading. It's very late at night right now, but I really wanted to make this YouTube video to kick off my YouTube channel. thank you everyone, and if you have any questions or comments or a stock you want me to look at, please let me know. And hope to see you guys at the next video. Thank you.